Hi, I am Lisbeth, and welcome to the Caring Human Code podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about something very important. I'm going to talk about something that you and me and most dog caretakers have felt at one point, and that is to feel stuck, feeling frustrated, feeling like nothing is working, even though you're trying very hard. And I want to begin by saying something important. It's not your fault. It's very common to feel stuck. Most of us who have tried to be a good dog parent and we care for our dogs very deeply and we want to do everything right. We read books, we listen to podcasts like this one, we listen to advice that we get from our family, friends, neighbors, and other dog trainers. We go to courses, we pay a lot of money to learn and to try and be the best pet parent we can. Yet, we still feel that progress is slow or inconsistent or even disappearing the moment that life gets stressful again. The real foundation, which I strongly believe, is communication, signals, learning the signals that the dogs are using with their body, emotional safety that the dogs need, and you too, and to see things from the dog's perspective. We learn commands, not connection. We learn obedience, not understanding. So, of course, we feel stuck. The thing is that no one is telling us this about dog communication. That dogs, they speak constantly. They have their own very well developed body language that they use to communicate with each other and with us. And they show signs and they try to say something long before we actually see the problem behavior. They use their calming signals. They're very subtle signals. Some of you might know them already, some of you don't. And then you need to read this book on talking terms with dogs by Turi Drugos. I will link to the book below here. It tells you everything about them. And what you have to do is you have to start observing your dog and learning their language. Most humans, we never learned this language. We didn't learn it on any dog courses. I've been to many classes, puppy classes, adolescent classes, all kinds of dog training courses. But no one really talked about their calming signals or their way of understanding us or how we could understand them. So it's not because we don't care. It's because no one is teaching it. Well, that changed now that you found us here, didn't it? Because we are absolutely teaching the calming signals. But when you don't understand the early signals, you only respond when things are already going wrong. So we only start responding when the dog is barking, when the dog is pulling, when the dog is showing reactivity, jumping, well, whatever your dog is showing of emotions or behaviors that you feel is a problem. So it's like trying to fix a fire without seeing the smoke that came first. And traditional obedience training focuses on controlling our dog's behavior. But behavior is only the end result of the dog's internal process, what it feels inside, what's going on inside. And obedience can make things look better for a moment, while the underlying stress, fear, or confusion is still there. And that's why so many of us feel that they're taking one step going forward and then two steps going back. The method is working against how dogs actually think, feel, and communicate. So then we're in a kind of a stress loop, right? Your dog reacts to your emotional state and you react to theirs, and it becomes a loop. If your dog feels tense, you feel tense. If your dog pulls, your breathing changes, your whole body posture changes, you get tense. If your dog barks, you get tense and your body stiffens. And this is completely normal. But it means that fixing the dog is impossible without supporting the human too. And that's exactly why people get unstuck when they try to do things on their own. And we very often blame ourselves. Almost every human, dog human that I've worked with have said one of these things. Something like, I should have known this, or I feel like I'm failing, or I must be doing something wrong. And especially when we start to learn about the calming signals and what the dogs are actually telling us, we feel extremely bad. Why didn't I see this before? Why didn't I notice? I should have noticed. It's very important that you stop blaming yourself, right? You stop blaming yourself. You stop thinking about all the stupid things we tried in the past. They didn't work. Now it's time to look ahead and to be even better, to try and learn something different, to learn more of how your dog is communicating to you and how you can respond very easily without cues and commands. You can use your body and your body language. And then suddenly something magic happens. You feel a mutual understanding. Your dog finally sees that you understand what they're trying to tell them. And you feel good because you do understand what they're telling them. And by doing that, you can avoid a lot of this problem behavior. The truth is, you are doing the best that you can with the information that you have been given. But the information hasn't been enough until now because you found us here at Nordic Dog Trainer. And very often, what we learned in the past also wasn't kind, not for the dog and not for you. So I know a lot of dog caretakers that are worried to come to my courses or even private lessons because they feel like they've been failing, they feel like they've been doing things wrong. So they're embarrassed by the behavior of their dog. And believe me, you're not alone. And I've been there myself. I know exactly how you feel. The thing is that you don't need more training or more obedience. What you and your dog needs is no more strict routines or even stronger commands. You don't need to become the leader. You probably know that already. It's kind of an old-fashioned advice, isn't it? And most importantly, you do not have to be perfect. What you need is understanding, clarity, guidance, support, and small, manageable steps that fit you, your real life, and your individual dog. And this is not something that happens overnight. I'm sorry, I don't have a magic wand that I can change everything magically just in 24 hours or even a week or even a month. It takes time. So I started learning this when I read the book on talking terms some 25 years ago now, and I'm still learning. And Turid Rugos, the author of the book, she's been doing this for 50 plus years, and she's proud to say that she's also still learning. It's an ongoing process, always. We should strive to improve and to become better. And we have a lot of new, good information, science, all kinds of things happening, the last 10, 20 years in the dog world. So we know better now. So it's time to look forward and to learn something new. And that's why I called the methods that we use the caring human code. I left out the word dog completely because this is about how we can change, how we can transform, how we are reacting and training so that our dogs can understand us better. I truly believe that it's our responsibility to do so, to be honest. We are the ones who chose to take the dog into our home and family, and we are responsible to try and learn as much as possible on how they communicate so we can have a good communication and life together. So the caring human code is a complete shift away from obedience thinking towards into communication thinking. It's about learning the dog's language, shaping your own body language, and reducing stress on both sides. Because this will automatically change when we start focusing more on communication than obedience and training. It will automatically, this is something magical happen, right? So it becomes more safe for both you and your dog. You feel more relaxed, less stressed, and you become a more predictable partner for your dog. Because instead of telling your dog commands on what to do, you're having two-way communication. So when people learn this, we stop feeling stuck because we see that the early signs, we can see now the early signs when we know the calming signals, and we can respond correctly and create real changes, not temporary behavior control. That's not what we need more of. So the magic is happening when we are shifting the focus from obedience and training to understanding and communication. Everything changes and becomes much less stressful for both you and your dog. So understanding this is very powerful, but doing it alone is hard. We get emotional, we get overwhelmed, and we fall back into old habits. And that's why having a community, guidance, and a structured path is important. I had a personal mentor when I started learning this that I spoke to every day for the first, well, I won't even tell you, that's a long story, for a very long time. I had someone with me step by step throughout my journey of changing things. I had so many questions, and I'm so happy that she was there for me. If not, I'm not sure if I could have learned. I'm pretty sure I could not have learned all this by myself. So it's important to have a community guidance and a structured path. Like I said, it gives you more consistency, encouragement, and clarity in what you are doing, and it stops you from being stuck again and again. Because, like I said, remember, this is a learning path. You're making a shift now and you're thinking forward. So, this is not something that you can change overnight, but there is something you can change. It's absolutely possible. Because this is not another quick fix, obedience training advice way to go. This is not another dog trainer or another neighbor or friend telling you, oh, I have this wonderful idea. You just do this and that. That's why, when I answer questions, people very often want a quick fix. Oh, how do I fix my dog? There isn't quick fixes like that. We need more understanding. First, you need to understand why your dog is behaving like that. And then we can talk about how we can help the dog and yourself to get it right. And this week, I'm sharing something that I've been working on for quite some time now. I'm not going to reveal anything today, but if you follow us on social media, on our Facebook, Instagram, and our newsletter, if you sign up for our newsletter by email, then for sure you'll get the information later this week about the project I've been working for. So I'm very happy that you are following me here on YouTube on my new podcast. I hope that I will see you again in a week. Next Wednesday, I'll be out with a new episode and something more useful for you to learn. So I'm very excited to help you along the way of learning a new way of being with your dog, a way that will create lasting changes for you and your dog. So I hope to see you next time. Bye.